Good afternoon, everyone. It's Rob. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you would please go ahead and type the number one in the chat box. Thank you for the 3, Jeff. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, Kevin, happy birthday. Oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Yes, today is my birthday. Afternoon, John. Lee, thank you. Good morning, Helen. How are you, dear? All right, all right, all right. Afternoon, Erica. Yep, if you look at my Facebook, it shows January 1st is my birthday. So not today. Hey, Donald, thank you. Wendy, thank you very much for the happy birthday wishes. Thank you, Helen. All right, all right, all right. Excellent. Well, as we get started here today, keep in mind that everything we look at is for educational purposes only. Nothing is meant to be advice or recommendations. We got a lot of great stuff coming up. We got Trading You coming up tomorrow night, which is actually, no, it's not. Yeah, no, Thursday night, Wednesday night, 24th. E-mini Think Tank is on the 25th. That's a Q&A that Brandon's doing for his students. Patterns in a Flash and Trading You come into September. Mastermind, of course, is tomorrow night. I'm teaching that. I got a great topic planned out. Power Hour Trading Coaches Playbook are both on the schedule for this week. Here we are. And then your winning trading formula. Folks, Brandon is going to walk you through exactly what a day in the life of Brandon is as a trader, how he starts his day off as trading, what things he looks for, what makes him shift from one position to another. He's going to talk about all of that. When does he introduce certain indicators? Does he look at certain market conditions for certain things to be done? He's going to walk you through everything that he does as a trader. A day in the life of a trader is what it comes down to. Power option plays, Covered Call Explorer, E-mini Think Tank are all on the regular schedule this week. Here is our follow us page. There's one thing I want to add to this, Sean. Let's try to get on there, tradinglikeaboss.com. On this page, folks, if you're not checking that page out, you're making a tremendous mistake. Every single week, we have got phenomenal free, it's all free content up there. Still want you coming back to Wealth Builders, of course. But there's so much great stuff on that page, you shouldn't miss it. And we're looking to make changes to it constantly of new items that we're offering. And they don't stay there all the time. So you definitely want to go ahead and check that out. So there's your winning trading formula. Secrets to preparing for the market to open, how your market prep impacts your success, how to use trading to reach your financial goals. I know for so many of you, that's exactly what you look at as, how do I get there so I can give up on this lousy stinking job that I have, right? And it is a free training, so make sure you register for it. And we do have limited seats there. We're only 1,000 seats per class, so make sure that you are getting registered sooner rather than later. We're not going to do that yet. So let's go ahead and take a look at the trades that you guys did for today. I will tell you right now, I didn't get a whole lot of trading done today. It is my birthday. I was hanging out with my wife. We went out for breakfast. Had a nice little morning together. My youngest daughter is working already today as a teacher. She's back for orientation type stuff because she's a new teacher in this school. So what trades did you do? Drop them in. Listen, it doesn't matter. Funded, non-funded doesn't make a difference. If it cost you money, you broke even, you made money, it doesn't make a difference. This is all about, excuse me, creating a document, a record of what you're doing and doing it openly and publicly. For those of you that don't necessarily know about this, and some may not believe in it, and that's okay. I do. I believe that you put it out in the universe, whatever higher power you believe in or not, you put it out in the universe, because if you just keep your mouth shut and don't tell anybody, how's it ever going to come to fruition, right? I'm a big mouth when it comes to stuff like this. I believe throwing it out there. Go check out some of the stuff like The Secret, if you're into that, with exactly how some of that works, right? So drop your trades in that you did. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. Everybody, let's see. Not sure what's going on yet for the market mornings. Kevin, we'll let you know. Happy birthdays, happy birthdays, happy birthdays. Okay. So John put in Wheel of Fortune for AMC UVXY cash flow of $2,000+. We need to reach back and grab the hammer, baby. All right. $2,000. Great job. Great job, John. Karen said $400 on IWM. Woo! Karen got a put via Brandon. Nice. Very nice. Let's see. Erica said, I executed a SPY trade today. How did you do, Erica? Glad you did it. Or how is it doing even? Had a nice put trade on the Qs. There you go, Ellen. I love it. I love it. Karen said, SPY 416 put made 9%. I mean, how can you go 9%? Right? Jim said, I got into the SPY put trade early Friday morning, up right now 135% and still in. I don't know what that equates to, dollars and cents. Great job, man. Great job. Blade said, one contract vertical credit spread on QQQ, first funded trade since March. Nice. Congratulations on getting a funded trade off there. Erica said 56% profit on the put trade. Woo! Come on, folks. How excited does this stuff get you? It gets my blood going when you guys start typing this stuff in. It is just outstanding. Amelia's off today, so you may not see a trade. We didn't see one come through yet for her. She may have done them and just not had a chance to send them in to us for this afternoon. But folks, make sure you check out what she does in Trade Watch Alerts. She gives you a 2-week trial, on her service. Every day you get 3 candidates that come out as potential trades. She really does extremely well with it. So you want to check that out. Let's see. Blade said, I'm up $5. There you go. All right. Listen, definitely on the right side, right? It's a vertical spread. So you're not going to get, in many cases, huge profits this early in the day. But overall, great job. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Jim said, I bought at $4.91, last $11.56. So call it $5 and the last it's 11.5. Great job, Jim. Just great job. Let's see. Jeff said, did a trade on target this morning for the alerts up 25%. We're talking about Amelia's alerts, right? Let's see. So, let's see. Sean, tell me, can you see any of this? Are you able to see my phone? Am I too far, too close? Can you see it now? No? Okay. So I was trying to show you the trades that are on there. We're on a professional camera here. It doesn't work if I put it all the way up there either, right, Sean? No, it's just the lens we've got in there. So Boeing, Microsoft, Target, Jeff's referring to Target. The trade setup that Amelia put out there today. Yeah, my phone is white. The back of it is black. The screen is white for sure. I need bright for me to see things. And that's what Jeff said. He's up 25% right now from that alert trade. Blade said, just getting back on the horse. I love it, Blade. Hey, listen, it is what it is, right? When you're ready, when the student is ready to teach your peers, right? When you're ready to place that trade, there it is. The market's there for you. It's not going anywhere. All right. That is awesome. So today I brought Amazon was one of the candidates that I put out there this morning. Folks, if you're not checking out, Sean, where did we publish those trade setups this morning for the pre-market picks?
Pre-market, that was Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn.
Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Correct? Not Instagram.
That is correct.
Okay. Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn is where we put those posts out there today for the 3 trade setups. Now, these are the 3 I'm sharing with you right now. Amazon is believed to be in negotiations to buy a company. They're in competition with United Healthcare right now. So they're competing. So there's a cost increase to buy it. What does that mean? Amazon's down on the announcement. They gapped down right about that 135 3/4. And right now we'll call it 133 3/4. That's a $2 move to the downside. How do we trade these? Credit spreads, right? Credit spreads. Great setup, great move on Amazon. If you look at an Amazon option chain, folks, look at an Amazon option chain. We're not looking out to September. We're looking out to Friday, right? The 26th of August. So if you're, and we would be looking for something that was above that 137 level, right? And there was a bear call spread. So, I mean, right now, if I were doing it now, I'd be looking at the 133. You're talking about 50 cents, 60 cents right now. It's too late to do the trade. I'm not saying to do it. Point is, for under $1, you're entering into this trade on a credit spread, right? Of cash available. You need requirement cash. Remember, you're getting a credit for it, right? So overall, great setup on. There you go. Jeff said I did a debit spread on Amazon this morning. There you go. You can make money on both sides. Both sides. Oh, C-Trip, I didn't hear about CVS in the race for this one. But I only had room. I only do 3 candidates in the morning. So 2 of them were Amazon. United Healthcare was the next one, UNH. Right now, they had that big drop, came back up and failed. So if you took that trade, you probably got a little heat or were stopped out, depending on where your strikes were that you traded. That was number 2. And then Tesla. Tesla came out and said they're raising 25%. Their self-driving software. It's already a $15,000 software program. So it's going up, or it's going to 15 grand, whatever it is. I think it was 3 grand. It was going up 25%, I heard. So 875. And right now they're at 867. So $8 to the downside. Folks, you could have just traded these candidates, spend all of 60 seconds, because that's all these videos are. We got to keep them under a minute, 60 seconds to watch the video, get the candidates that I'm looking at for the day, watch the news training that we've done on this, and take advantage of how to trade these candidates right here, right? Simple, straightforward, hardcore. Subscribe to the social platforms. That's all I can tell you. I mean, just, you need to follow along. You absolutely need to be there. Be there or be square. All right. Let's see. Hey, Brenda. Okay, I think I had all the questions in the comments at that point. At this point, cool. All right, so let me go ahead and bring up Omega charts, and let's talk on the S&P 500. Woo, baby. So what in the world happened? So when I did the analysis on Friday, well, it was actually Sunday, after my daughter's engagement party, I was really not in the mood to do a video. I tried doing it Friday. We were out. I tried doing it Saturday. We were too crazed getting, early in the day, I was too crazed getting set up for her engagement party. So this is where we were at, right? We've got our 4181, which is this black line right here. We have a new fib that I drove the weekend on pop, right? Good pullback as of Friday. And we broke down into a bullish neutral bias. It isn't horrible. We like bullish better, but it's not horrible, right? And it's okay. You've got a couple of things to contend with. You've got the 4,200 level. That's the first one that we've got to deal with. You've got the 4181 level and the 236 confluence of the fib line sitting right there, which ironically enough lined up with the 0 from the previous fib we had. Okay. That blue zone is still going to stay there because that's where up the 4181, where we fell not once, but twice off of there. Right. And when I say fell, we finally broke through it that second time. Okay. But that's where we were come Friday's close. And I said, until we break the 4181, right? And then ideally, when I say ideally, then ultimately, if we break through the 21 on the close, it puts us in a neutral bias. We're in a much different position at that point, even closing down below the 4181. And I want you to think of this. You know, if you were trapped in a room and the only thing in the room was a sledgehammer and a ladder, and the walls were made of cement, but the ceiling looked like it's made of sheetrock, right? You climb up the ladder, you break the ceiling, and you climb out, you know, get out to the next floor, the roof, whatever it is, okay? Well, what you're looking at is just having a Fibonacci level there. That's all. Right now, when you've got the Fibonacci level, the 236 plus the 4181 level, what has happened is you don't only just have a piece of sheetrock there, there's a piece of plywood on top as well. So if we break down below and close down below, it's harder to get through those two lines than it is to get through just one, right? And you're going to have people argue and say, well, you see, that's not true. It broke through. I'm not saying it can't happen. It's going to happen. Ultimately, that's not a floor that we can never break through or bounce or break above again. But it is a place that you've got to contend with. And you need to know this going into the game, going into the trade, going into the market. You need to understand that. So what happens? Today, Boom. Where do we gap down? Below the 41.81, below the 236. What happens? We give a small little wick to the upside and we continue the push down. Excuse me. We continue that push to the downside. And we're sitting just above the 21. So now, if for me, this is Rob, position one in the chair, sitting back, just chilling, taking it easy. Life is good, but I'm not stressing to do too much trading. And if I am, it is definitely day trades. If you go back and look at power option plays in the last couple of weeks, we've started to see more and more and more notes for swing trades. And we had at one point 3 or 4 open swing trades at one time. We had 3 of them open on Friday before the day started. We had 3 of them open. Well, actually, it was from last Tuesday. So there were 3 open. By the time Friday closed, all 3 of them had closed out. And on those 3 trades, I want to say we were up 10 or 12 grand or something like that on those 3 swing trades. Not expensive positions. They weren't Chipotle's or anything like that. You know, they were lower cost of Google. Lower cost, yeah. Remember Google, $100, $120, right? So not an expensive stock any longer, right? Nor will it ever be again. And we did extremely well. But now we're in a position again of, all right, we ain't seen this now. We broke down here below the 8 for a day, and we huge push up the next day, right? And we had a wick test and gapped and ran the next day. We closed down below on Friday. We're looking like a close down below the 8 still, maybe not the 21, but below the 8 still today. That would give us 2 days in a row. That has not happened since we shifted over into the moving averages, the 8 being above the 21, or certainly once we got any format of this moving average. And if you look at when the moving averages finally came to a true bullish bias, which was back here in August, the beginning of August, we have not had a close below the 8 yet. Right? Today's move to the downside, 66 points today. I think it was 55 points on Friday, 110, 15-ish points, 20 points, whatever. That's a lot of move in 2 days, all one direction. It's not a high to low. No, this is just down, right? A lot of move. Depending on where we close here, right? Depending on what happens here. If we close right near that 8 and we can get a bounce, then we got to get above the 21 rather, the green line. If we close right near where it is, we can get a bounce off it tomorrow. We still need to make it up on a close above the 8, right? I am not looking to directionally choose to buy a stock or buy an option long based on we're in a bullish neutral bias. Now, if you know the stock and you're willing to take that risk and you understand what the risk is, by all means, you go for it. I'm not saying you're not allowed to. You do whatever you want. I'm good with that. But you want to make sure that you're doing it in such a way that you at least know what the risks are and you know the ramifications if it goes against you, right? So I am waiting then for us to get back into a true bullish bias. Can you, if you are a person that's looking at this saying, okay, economically, I really don't see a lot of reason for it. Well, we've had some bad news, right? Slowdowns in mortgages, lowest we've had new mortgages in over 20 years. I heard today that mortgage rates have gone down, which makes me scratch my head since the Fed didn't drop rates anytime recently. So how did the mortgage rates drop down? Because banks looked at their balance sheet and went, oh no, we in trouble, baby. We better lower the cost of interest on a loan. We'll make a little bit less, but we'll at least be able to get some of that those mortgages going through and make those fees. And of course, have the residual interest rate for 20, 30, 40. Someone was telling me about a 50-year mortgage that they were offered. 50 years. The guy's 40 years old. 90 years, he's going to be paying a mortgage? I hope not. Right? Okay, so 4181, critical level. Got to know that level. Right? That's the first one. To the upside. 4182.80. Gee, it's amazing how we fall right there, huh? And then 4200. Those 2 levels are 3 levels, two levels, I guess 3 are critical. And then wherever the 21 is, in this case, 4157.32 is the green line, right? So if we close there, we call it 4157 is close enough. As long as we can maintain above that, we're good. But now what happens, folks? Even if we break to the upside, then what? even if we break to the upside, let me go ahead and let's change this over. Red. Okay. And let's make it a little bit bigger. No, actually, I think that's okay. All right. So even if we make the move up, sorry, we're down here, my bad. Even if we make the move up, we've got to contend with the 4181, the 4200 level. So in an ideal world, just like I was looking for back here, I'd want to see a move up above the 4200 level, a retest that brings me down below the 4200 and the bounce. We got down to the 4200 here. That was it. We ran for a couple of days and we've given it all back and then some. Okay. Popped our head above the trees and didn't find it very exciting right now. Right. So this gives us another shot or another bite at the apple if we can get that set up. If you're a breakout trader and you just take that break to the upside, by all means, you go for it. You go, girl or guy or whatever. Right. You get that breakout and it just runs and you want to take that entry, you do it. Go for it. For me, not very excited about it. And until we get above the 8, so here's our 8 moving average. Until we get above the 8, an entry is still aggressive. So I would suggest if you do what I'm saying and that we get the close back above the 4181, above the 4200, the pullback just under the 4200 somewhere, not below the 4181 on a close, and it bounces. So in other words, pull back somewhere in here. I don't care where, doesn't matter where, somewhere in between here is where we pull back to. So we closed up here, bearish candle, we pull back, we bounce, take the entry on the bounce, wait for a close down there. That's up to you. But that ultimately becomes your entry, whether it's intraday or end of day, right? That's the big E. If you're doing that, you still have an 8-period moving average to contend with. Right. So because we're not above the 8, I would do less of a contract. So I would do if my normal was 10x, 10 contracts, that's a normal trade for me. I would be doing 4 contracts, which is the way I teach it in power option plays. We'd only look at doing 4. By doing just 4 contracts, I'm still in the trade and I'm not, if it does run and gives me no more pullback, I'm already in because the move could be, right? If we get the move up, this and the bounce, and let's say that's entry right there. I'm just going to put entry number 1. Right? So what am I looking at there? Well, my moving average is still here. Right? My moving average is still here. If we press up and start pushing into the moving average, right, and start building pressure inside of here, right, and then all of a sudden we get this happen, right, and now you already took 4 contracts with your first entry, but you never got an opportunity to take a second entry because the move was too big. At least you're in some of the trade. So there's strategy associated with it. And if the comment, the point back to this comes of, Rob, I can only afford to do 1 contract, then awesome. If you decide to take it here where I said take trade number 1, you have to understand the risks and the ramifications. You could see resistance at the 8 moving average, but it's only 1 piece of sheetrock, not 2, because the 8 moving average is in the middle of nowhere. So it's only 1 piece of sheetrock. There ain't no plywood on top of it. There's no pine board or nothing like that. There's no 4 pieces of sheetrock in there, no wire lath. You're good, right? You still have resistance, but not as strong. And then you've got the next Fibit line right above there, okay? All right, so Trip said home sales are down 6 or more months in a row. Yeah, it's not been fun. I mean, I'm happy with it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not looking to sell a house right now. I'm actually looking to buy, have been for a while, looking to buy some more investment properties. But how? How? With the prices the way they are, ain't no way in God's great earth I'm buying a house at this point, right? When you go and you offer full price and the mortgage broker goes, yeah, the real estate agent rather goes, Yeah, no, we're not taking any offers at price. We're taking sealed bids. We're going to go over, ask, and then here where we are, and you got a house going for $1.4 million, is what they put it up for, and it sells for 1.7. Okay, how did that happen? Because they took the highest bidder. Had nothing to do with whether or not you were willing to give them the money. I'm sure there was some conditions in there or lack of. In other words, there are no conditions. You know, give us a down payment. Can't make a payment to us. We keep the money, right? They're not bending over for anything. But you've got the opportunity here, folks. It's a matter of analyzing. I spent a lot of time, probably 10 or 15 minutes going over S&P right now. It really comes down to looking at the charts every day and doing that same type of analysis. And I would very strongly suggest you do it verbally, not just looking at it and talking to yourself in your inner voice. Outer voice. You're speaking 1 sense, right? You're seeing with your eyes first. So that's 1 sense. You're speaking it out loud. That's 2 senses. You're hearing it. That's 3 senses. And if you're Italian, maybe a little Jewish, I'm sure there are other nationalities that talk with their hands too. If you are one of those, it's like a 4th sense, right? It's touch. I can touch the computer right here, right? It's touch. So you've got multiple things happening all at once. Yeah, I can't trade or analyze sitting on my hands. I wouldn't be able to speak. Doesn't work well for me at all. Good, Deborah. I'm glad you like the analogy. Trip said, I've been shopping. I have seen lots of price cuts instead of over offers, lots more inventory too. And it's going to happen, but sellers, to me anyway, are still at a point of disbelief. Yeah, it's coming back. Yeah, it's not now. Not with these rate hikes we're talking about. Not with where I think we're going to see the hikes go over the next year and a half. Not with the talk of inflation could be the worst inflation we've seen in decades. Not with any of that stuff. All of that is going to play into it. And hopefully all of the big shots are wrong. Sorry, really bad tickle today. Hopefully. Not with transitory inflation. Exactly, Trip. There's lots of concerns out there of all of this, right? But bottom line is, if you shorten your time frame, analyze your positions like we just did here, make sure you're only taking the right entries, especially those of you that have smaller accounts where you can't afford a lot of risk in that account. You really need to hone in on the right trade setup. You do. And here, so if you're someone that's sitting there and you're not, what's the right word I want to use or phrase? So you're sitting and you've got an account, let's say, maybe you've got a small amount of money in there. Maybe you've got a decent amount of money in there. So maybe you've got a few $100s, few $1,000, smaller amount. Maybe you're sitting on 50, 100, 500 grand, not where your retirement on, $10 million of cash in there, but you've got that smaller dollar amount and you're trying to figure out the right strategies and the right ways for you to go ahead and manage to pick the right trades for that. Right? One of the things I'm going to tell you to do is, let me see what I've got open here. All right, let me just move this over here. All right. Very big. All right, guys, I mentioned it before, tradinglikeaboss.com. Power Hour, you can always register right there. Trading Coaches Playbook, you can always register right there, right? There's Brandon's winning formula, you register right here, okay? We've got more that are going to come down below here. We've got, what is it, 2 more right now, Sean, we're putting up? 2 or 3 more that are going up on this page, guys, and we're not stopping, okay? But if you're sitting there saying, okay, I really need to learn how to manage the positions properly to grow my account, the strategies that I teach in 30 Days to Trading Success, those strategies are the ones that I wish my mentor, I love my mentor, I wish he would have forced me to do those strategies instead of what he taught me. I'd have an additional 0 on my account today had I done that. Bottom line, right? Potentially, okay? But the strategies have such a high probability of success I don't know why I didn't do them way back then. I know why I did, because it wasn't sexy. You couldn't make 2,000% on your money or 200% on your money. It was, you got on base a lot, over and over and over again. Every once in a while you had, you struck out, but not a big deal. You had a really high win ratio on that, and it works great. So check out the 30 Days to Trading Success, folks. You will not be disappointed with that training. And actually, Lee dropped the link to it, Trading Like a Boss, in there, so you're good to go. Sean, take a look at Brenda's question there, please. We'll take a look at that, Brenda. Thank you. All right. So what candidates you guys want me to take a look at? Start dropping those in. And while you do, I'm going to take you back into presentation mode. And I want to talk about beating back the bear, right? Beating back the bear. So I spent a lot of time analyzing the S&P 500 already for you this morning and this afternoon. The goal here was to help you understand that there are things that have to happen for this bearishness to not creep into the market. We need to be in that true bullish bias. I'm not worried about pullbacks. I need pullbacks. Pullbacks are places I continue to add to my position. I have a large position in Amazon. For me, a very large position outside of SPY and Qs and Berkshire Hathaway. It's a very large position for me. And I'm not done yet. I've only got 80% of what I want. All right, so there's still 1/5 that I need to add to it. Am I adding at a much higher price than I did before? Yes, because of my laddering strategy that gets me into on pullbacks into the trades. I did my first Amazon trade here, my next one here, my third one here, my fourth one here, and now my fifth one. Sorry. My fifth one, we're still waiting on, right? We're still waiting on that next entry opportunity. But when you look at the bearish market, folks, and we go back and look at the S&P 500, and we look at what's happened and what has to happen. Right now, are we in a bear market? No, but we are at a very pivotal point. Actually, look what's happened. We moved down right to the 21 moving average right now. There's a chance we close below that 21, which puts us in a neutral bias. The whole ball game changes, neutral versus bullish neutral. Because I need to get back up above the 8 moving average before I can use the word bull again. I can't go from neutral down here to bullish neutral. It's impossible. I have to get back above the 8 for that for any kind of word bullish to be in there. Okay. So we look at beating back the bear. We had this amazing run in the market. It's been awesome. It's been awesome. Swing traders have had challenges, right? They see the market, it breaks out here, they're in, or on this day, they're in on the gap up, and we get this huge fail, and they're stopped out. We get this big day up. Okay, good. Woo, we got a bullish day that day. We get a push up the next day. Great. We open up here, push down to the bottom here. Many stop outs there. If not, over the next couple of days, people getting stopped out left and right. Right. Then we got this run again, and then we just went sideways. People recognized resistance up in here, and we went sideways. You got this great breakout, gap up, and a fail at the end of the day. See, for swing traders, it's been extremely complicated to be profitable with these trades. Extremely complicated. Right? But the opportunities are still there. Shorten your time frame. Be very strict on the strategies you choose, along with your setups will give you the best opportunity to be right. What does that mean? You're taking less trades. For me to have taken 20 trades in an entire month in power option plays, only 20 trades, is insane. February of this year, I believe it was, we had 63 trades went off in the month of February. Shortest month of the year, no less, right? 63 trades. Because we chose it that way? No, it's what the market handed us. We take what the market gives us. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so Sean, the 30 days is fine. Okay, Brenda, try checking the 30 days to trading success again. Sean's checking on his end. It's working fine. Well, a close above the 8, Kevin, gives us what we're looking for, right? That close above the 8 is exactly what we need to be in that bullish bias. But you may choose to start entering here. So if I were going to buy Amazon here, I would not buy my last 20% of Amazon. I'd probably buy half of that at most. And if we get above our 8 moving average, I'll add the last piece of the puzzle in there. We've just broken too far down. Excuse me. Had this closed yesterday, Friday given us a bounce today, and if this was Amazon, then yes, I would have gotten the whole 20% off of that. Because now we had that pullback to a critical level, a key level, and a bounce. I would look to take the whole thing. But because we broke down here, I got to think about it twice now, right before we're there. Okay. So let's see what we've got. All right. So Brenda's got QQQ. Let's go jump into those. And guys, gals, if there's symbols that you want me to take a look at, drop them in. So the Qs, very similar to the S&P 500. We've got 316.69 is resistance. Actually, what's the difference here? We're in a neutral bias already. We gapped right through bullish neutral to neutral. Now we could still close above the 21 and be bullish neutral. But if we close where we are now, below the green line, below that 21 moving average, we are in a neutral bias. And you cannot have a close up here above the 21, below the 8, and call it bullish neutral. It doesn't work that way. For me to have a bullish neutral, and we close right here, we get this move up, we're still in neutral. We move up past our 8 moving average. Now and only now are we considered to be bullish. Then if we pull back here as an example, right? And in between the 8 and 21, that puts us in a bullish neutral bias. But I can't have that until we have bullish first if we have neutral as our one of the factors in there, right? It has to be that way, period, the end. Right, so QQQ, Brenda, I'm looking at the 309.65 to the downside. If we push up, it's tough because I got to get above the 21, and then 323.73 is our next one, okay? Hope that helps. Let me know in the comments down below. Henry, how are you, sir? Henry's asking for big airplane. All right, so on Boeing, woo, damn, be bearish. Again, bullish has to happen before bullish neutral can happen. Bearish has to happen before bearish neutral can happen. So if you're going down and you're in a neutral bias right now, the only thing you can have besides neutral is bearish on the downside, or if that 154 quarter level as our downside target, 161.13 level as our resistance, Henry. So I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm a little bit nervous on this. Depending on what the news was that drove this one down, I'd be looking at a credit spread above 161. So if we look at Boeing, look at Boeing. Let's get an option chain. And I said 161 calls, right? So we got 162.5 call and 165. If you chose to go that route, you'd be looking at about 85 and 45. So 45 and 15, 60. So you got about 60 cents of credit. Excuse me, about 60 cents of credit on a $2.50 spread, which is not bad at all. All right. So, but I would, of course, been looking at it on the open today, not now. You're not going to get as much premium. All right. So, Henry, I hope that helps. Let me know down in the comments below. Next, Trip's got the Trip Trio in. AMD is the first one. All right, so we closed in a neutral bias yesterday where it looks like we're shifting down to bearish at this point. 91.5 is our first downside. 83.75 is our next downside. Trip, you got a lot of stuff to contend with on the upside there. Whole lot of stuff to contend with on the upside. All the moving averages inside of there. Just it makes it hard until we can get back above that 100-point level again. So you got a little bit of space to move there. And we got IBM. Nice. So look at IBM. Look at the relationship of the fib line and the pink 8 moving average. Look how close they are. The distance of that fib in relation, or the moving average rather, in relation to the fib, if you took this entire distance here, come on. If you took that entire distance here, and then you took the moving average percentage, the height percentage of that box, it looks like it's less than 25%. And we actually have an indicator created to calculate this for us. Whoops, that was not what we wanted to do. So if we're below 136.48, this green line, that's 25%. We are nowhere near it at this point. So we've got the opportunity to take that setup then in there. So if we can get a close here, a retest tomorrow and a bounce, you're looking at 139 as your resistance level. So you got about $2.50 to the upside. So you get about $1.50 of it on the stock move. So maybe $1.75 to $1 quarter on the options move is what we're looking at, right? So not a big mover, but it's big blue chip IBM, right? Big blue. Last one is Micron, MU, right? They're in, a true bear bias. That gap down hurt today a lot. I'm only interested in a bearish trade on this right now, folks. I won't take anything to the upside. I mean, it is a switchback trade. You could trade a day trade up, but you've got the bounce potential right now off of that 58.5 level with the room up to 61.5, 61.25. So, and if we break the downside Trip, 55.5 is what we're looking at. All right. I hope those helped. Let me know down below. And then let's see, Kevin's asking for Tesla. TSLA, right? Boom, boom, boom. Great setup today on the spread. So right now we're sitting at 868.70, 867.10 is the moving average. So we're above our moving average. We are still in a bullish neutral bias at this point. That doesn't mean we don't go down below. We were down below today. We've come out of it. But if we do continue to shift to the downside and close below, it puts us in a neutral bias and takes away our ability to trade anything directional at all. You can still trade it, day trades, either way, up or down. But you want to trade it in relation to what the market's giving you right now. It's still bullish neutral, so we're looking for the move up, right? So Kevin, we have resistance at 866.72 and support at 823.91. All right, so I hope that helps. Let me know. Hey, Brendan, that's smart. Pinning the key to be free to your taskbar. Toolbar, that's good. You're welcome, Brenda. Erica's asking for spies and Qs. We already did Q. All right, wait for it. Ah, there it is. Okay. So we're right back at that 21 again. Same as we saw in the SPY. So we've got room down to the next fib line is 408.5. We're sitting at 415.5, 14.5. So lots of opportunity down, lots of opportunity down. Tremendous. If I move up and get above the 417 half, I've got room up to 421 half. So it's about a $4 move. Eesh. Right? Got to be careful. Got to be careful. All right. Trip said gaps blew up my switchback today. Maybe tomorrow. Thanks. You're welcome. Yeah, gaps will do, but at least you knew right up front, Trip, right? You had it, your plan was laid out. You knew what you were looking to do. The plan changed. Mr. Miyagi, best block, no be there. All right, just get out the way. You're welcome, Kevin. Bill's asking for Pepsi. PEP, Pep, Pepe Le Pew. Older fib. Blew through the 618. Ooh, dang it. Got to go manual. So 162 to 164, it makes the $3 fudge test for me on the 61850 distance. We're in a bullish bias on today's pullback. The move to the upside is only going to take us to about 180. So you don't have a lot of room on Pepsi right now, Bill, to the first target. So you got to be careful there. If we break above that 180, you've got about 184.75. All right. I hope that helps. Let me know. Kevin, you're welcome. Good, Brenda. Good. All right, let's see. Tesla stock split this week. Don't they tend to move up typically? So typically, when you're not in a hyperinflation or overinflation, when you're not raising interest rates the way that we are, when you're not having the political battles that are going on, when you're not spending the money that you are, when you're not worried about the IRS agents coming after you because we've got 87,000 of them. And the good thing is for most that they're not going to come after the individuals. So they say they're only going to come after small businesses. The bad is, many small businesses will not be able to weather that storm. They'll be out of business, just having to fight something that is probably not realistic for them anyway. But with all of that, the thought that we're going to go up, Amazon went right down. Google went up for a day or two before it dropped off. Right? Normally, the expression is buy on rumors, sell on fact, or buy on news, sell on fact. The news is out, right? Stock split's coming up in a couple of days. It's out. Actually, it's the 24th into the 25th, right? So today's 22nd. Can you believe my birthday? I got to look at the date. Anyway, usually what will happen is you see a run into the split. We didn't see that. Here, let's go over to Tesla. Let's switch over since we're talking about it. Right? You didn't see that the last couple of days. You actually saw a reversal, but it's somewhere between 7 to 10 days prior to the split is when the move starts to take place, calendar days. Okay. And we had a short round for the last 5. Well, I guess the rest of today into tomorrow out there. Breaks. But my cardiologist, a big Tesla guy, told me I went for my checkup last week. Everything was good. All the results came back perfect. And says, oh, so I sold off all the stocks that I had that had gone against me. I took some losses on them. I could offset them against my gains on Tesla. And I bought more Tesla. And he goes, and it looks pretty good so far. And he's talking about doing that back here. So he did extremely well for himself. He is Tesla through and through. Tesla goes out of business. He's got a world of poo-poo that he's in. Okay. It's not looking good with all the Tesla that he owns. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So Karen, move up usually happens into the split, ends 1, 2, 3, 4 days prior to the split. Seems like we've already had it happen where it ended. Could we get a bounce tomorrow? Possibly, but the expression "don't catch a falling piano," just get out of the way, let it continue to drop like Amazon did. It starts to turn, and there's the place to consider an entry, right? That, overall tends to be the best strategy. Blade said, I'm up another $2 on my Q spread. Yay. There you go, Blade. All right. Keeping us up to date on it. I appreciate that. Thank you for the birthday wishes, Diane. I appreciate it. Fantastic. All right. That was the last symbol, guys. Does anybody have another one they want me to look at, or else we're going to call it a day? While you're trying to figure that out, make sure that you get registered for Brandon's event. Right? Your winning trading formula right here on Key to Be Free. Trading Like a Boss. Right here on Trading Like a Boss, you can register for it, or from the members area, or the link that Lee dropped in earlier. All right, so we got a couple of NVIDIAs in there. Let's go look at that one. Earnings. Warning, Will Rogers. Warning, Will Rogers. All right, August 24th, it shows here. So be careful of the earnings. 155.5 on the downside, 187 on the upside, but all the moving average cluster in the middle is going to be a deterrent as well. All right, so keep that in mind. Mr. Softy, Microsoft. So they are now in a neutral bias. If they close here, we're looking at 267 as the downside. To take anything bullish, if you were going to try, it would have to get above on a close to 267. I'm sorry, the 281, which is the 21 moving average. But nothing about it right now is very exciting to me. So just a little caution there. Good, Blade, I appreciate it. Brendan said, I missed the Q's trade today. Darn. Brenda said, congrats on all of you that are trading. Appreciate that, Brenda. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, so with that, make it a profitable day. Stay focused on the quest to becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it. And remember, get registered for Brandon's winning trading formula. Do not pass up on that training, folks. You're not going to see it again. He's got a few of them, 4 of them on the schedule right now, 12 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern time. Find a time that works. I don't care if you need to pull an hour out of work. You need to be at that training. All right, everybody have a great rest of your day, and I will see all of you at our next update. Take care. See you soon. Bye for now.